Hi, I'm Mandy back with another video today. Today I want to talk about how being a behaviorist helps my energy psychology practice. So this is an interesting subject, and I talk about it actually more than I think I do when I kind of approach what I do with clients. And some people, I think, tend to see these as polar opposites, especially clinicians, where energy psychology techniques are a whole family of techniques, right, that are mind-body techniques. And there's going to be a whole bunch of different things under there. And then the behaviorist piece, I do a lot of videos on ABA also, and applied behavior analysis is, relies on the three-part contingency that there's a behavior, there's something that comes before the behavior, something that comes after the behavior, and we really want to manipulate those variables in some way to get a different outcome with behavior. So I often get questions about the behavior piece that can be very damaging to use ABA. And again, if you've watched some of my other videos, I try to explain why using ABA is an art, and that there can be really good ABA and there can be mediocre to poor ABA implementation. But if you do it right, you have great results. So on the other hand, behaviorists sometimes see these techniques on this end, the energy psychology techniques, as being a little less maybe grounded in theory, if you will, which is not true anymore, but nevertheless, they're seen that way. So I was an energy psychology practitioner first, years and years and years ago, and then ABA came along second. And why I think that it enhances my practice is because really, why does anyone come to therapy? If it's not court ordered or mandated, it's to change something, right? To change a thought or a feeling or a behavior or a pattern, right? So the idea is to change. So it just seems to me that the natural piece to this is, if you're going to change something, that you're modifying some behavior. Now, how that works for every person can be very different, whether it's, we change a behavior first and then we start to feel and think a little bit differently, or we change our thoughts and feelings around a circumstance and then our behavior changes. So it's kind of like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And this can be very different from person to person and from a particular, targeted issue to the next one. So that's the art piece about how we formulate this for different people. So it stands to reason for me that even if I'm using an energy psychology technique, really someone is looking to change something, right? And so that's behavior to me. Even if people come to me and say, I want to do some EFT, or I want to do some thought-filled therapy, or I want to do some work with chakras, the question is why, right? What's going on? And there's usually something that they want to change. So are we not implementing this tool to increase a desired behavior or to decrease an undesired behavior? The answer to me is always yes. Right? So it doesn't matter which tool you use, we're still changing behavior. So surprise, that you energy therapists who are out there watching this, you are a behaviorist because you're helping the people that you work with change something, whether, again, it's a thought, a feeling, a behavior, or all of them together at once, rolled up into one. That's what you're doing. So I think that brings to the table for me, a consistent mindfulness of motivation, what the behaviors are looking like. Are we seeing some change for progress? Whether, again, which came first? Are we addressing the thoughts and feelings and the behavior change? So, behavior is really a great gauge to measure progress. And most of us that are clinicians out there, no matter what tool you're using, we need to show measurable outcomes. So again, that comes in my mind, from behaviorist theory. What are we measuring? What are we changing? And how do we document that? So I strongly recommend the two together. It's how I work. I think it serves me well. And for those of you who have any comments, questions, or have resonated with this, clinicians or people on the receiving end, I'd love to hear them below. Thanks for watching.